You're listening to the best of Later with Mo Kelly. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours from all of us.
I would like to think of myself, by and large, as kind of a happy guy, getting happier and happier as life goes on. I try not to sweat the small stuff. And in alignment with that, I came across this list talking about the happiest states in the United States. And sometimes we get bogged down by the news. We think, whoa, if this is happening, that's happening, and that's happening, we must be very unhappy. If we talk about what's going on with the metro, if we talk about what's happening with crime, if we talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill, and if we just fall victim or prey to the news, sometimes we may think that life is horrible. But I try not to. But this list, 2023's happiest states in America, comes to us from Wallet Hub. And I wanted to start there because sometimes we mistake what true unhappiness is, and it's more just an extension of what we feel about the news, not how we are feeling individually or collectively within this state. Well, according to this, to determine where Americans exhibit the best combination of factors, including emotional and physical well-being, work environment, community environment, they ranked the 50 states. And Stefan, you didn't know I was going to talk about this. And I know Mark Rodder didn't know I was going to talk about this. Twala Sharpie may have known because I kind of discussed it with him.
Nobody ever tells me anything.
Well, you're like a child.
Not key personnel. Story of my life.
You're like a child. You're supposed to be seen, not heard.
Thank you.
Okay. So if I were to ask you, Steph, just a guess, what do you think the happiest state in the union would be? And also the unhappiest state. What would you take a guess to be? And again, this is having to do with emotional and physical well-being, work environment, community, and environment. And what made me think about this, because it said work environment, and which connected with me, is like, hey, I think I have the best job on the face of the earth.
Happiest, I would say North Carolina.
North Carolina. Where does North Carolina come up on this list? Number 26, right in the middle of the pack.
Oh, wow. I guess unhappiest, I would say New York.
New York is number 16. So New York as a state is happier, by and large, than North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Now, it may come down to your preference of style of living. It's not like people are unhappy with New York, but not everyone is, I would say, appreciative of a largely urban state. Largely. If you go to upstate New York, it's a different experience altogether from in the city, in Manhattan, what have you, in the boroughs. Mark Ron, do you have any guesses as far as what you think the happiest state, again, according to Wallet Hub, and we'll get to where California is, and the unhappiest state?
That's kind of a rough one because I would have guessed California, but...
Really, you think California is the happiest state?
That's my guess.
California, since you asked, the Golden State is number 7. Yikes. Number 1 being happiest.
Okay.
And I know your results may vary. And this is, it's not necessarily indicative of how everyone may feel about California. I am not. Let me make this, if I can compartmentalize it for a second. I know that not everyone is happy about California, and I'm not happy about California, but I'm happy in California, if that makes any sense.
I like it here. Didn't like the drive here, but
right,
I like it here.
Right. I don't like the traffic, but home is home. For me, I love California, all of her warts included. Now, there are a lot of things which can be improved, dramatically improved, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Not at this point in my life. Not right now. Maybe after I retire, but not now. I'm pretty damn happy here.
I'm hitting my 5-year mark. I'm an Angelino now. I like it here.
Well, welcome. You can't claim us yet. No. You need another 20 before you can claim us.
I'm not going to live another 20, okay?
Well, you'll never be an Angelino then. Who do you think might be unhappiest?
It's got to be someplace in the South because I read about that stuff pretty routinely. Someplace like Louisiana, I'm guessing.
Oh, Louisiana.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Not completely, but I bet it's in the southeast.
Yeah, you're spot on. Louisiana's number 49.
Ah, what's the final one?
West Virginia's 50th.
Okay,
as the
then.
least happiest state, according to Wallet Hub for 2023. And just to let you know, Here are the top 10, and we'll do top 10 and bottom 10. Coming in at number 10, as far as happiest, the state of Nebraska. Number 9, Idaho. Number 8, Florida. Number 7, as we said, California. Number 6, Connecticut. Number 5, New Jersey. Number 4, Minnesota. Number 3, Maryland. Number 2, Hawaii. And number 1, Utah. Now, this is the only thing I would say. For the states which are I would say, more economically disadvantaged, that makes sense why those states would probably be less happy than others, because you're probably unable to move or leave and go to other states, where for the most part, I would say I'm the state that I want to be in. Mark is in the state that he wants to be in. If you are in the state that you want to be in, you're more likely to be happier than as opposed to being in a state that you are stuck in. Bottom 10, coming in at number 41 is Oklahoma. 42 is New Mexico. 43 is Alaska. And this is where Mark Ronner is proven right. Number 44, Mississippi. 45, Alabama. Alabama. Whoa, Nelly. Fambalaya. Fambaruski. Keith Jackson. Number 46 is Kentucky. 47, Arkansas. 48, Tennessee. 49, Louisiana. And number 50, West Virginia.
Yeah, rough job if you're on the board of tourism in those places.
Well, you know what? I've never been to West Virginia. I think I would like to visit it. I wouldn't want to live there. Been to Louisiana a few times. Been to Tennessee. I love the city of Nashville. Been to Arkansas a few times. Have I been to Kentucky? I don't know if I've been to Kentucky, or maybe I've driven through Kentucky. Been to Alabama. Have not been to Mississippi. Have no desire to be even driving through Mississippi for any number of reasons. Alaska, I had a chance to go for a fraternity convention. Didn't go, and I regret that because I want to go to Alaska. 42, New Mexico, been there many times. 41, Oklahoma. 40, Indiana. I've been to maybe 40 out of 50 states just off the top of my head.
Oh, Indiana's a hellhole. I live there.
I've been there, but I don't think I would want to live there.
You don't even want to do anything but drive through there with your windows rolled up and your doors locked.
Yeah, there's some cities that I didn't mind, but as far as the state as a whole, I don't know. You know, or maybe it is a whole, H-O-L-E.
You're listening to the best of Later with Mo Kelly. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours from all of us.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Have you ever gone out, as we talk about tipping and social etiquette, have you ever gone out to a restaurant and you have maybe a party of 7 or 8 or even 10, and you start thinking about the inevitable discussion of, okay, are we going to split the tab? Are we going to have one person pay it? And there are things which make it a little bit easier today. When you have services like Cash App or Venmo, it's easy or I should say easier, for someone to put down their card and then maybe everyone reimburse that one person. That's something that I've been known to do, and it makes it a lot easier than, let's say, 5 years ago, where everyone, or I should say 3 people would have cash, 2 people would have credit cards, and 1 person have a debit card, and it was just a cluster truck. Now it's getting a little bit easier, but there's still questions about the social etiquette of splitting the check. I came across this article, and it features Kiki Aranita, a food editor at New York Magazine, and she goes over common scenarios you may encounter while dining out with a large group. And I wonder if you, Tuala, and you, Mark, and you, Stefan, agree with her suggestions about splitting a check. Here we go. Here's scenario number 1. You arrive to dinner late. Everyone at the table already ordered drinks and appetizers and are about to order their entrees. What should you do as the person who arrived late?
Turn right around and walk out. Because you're screwed. Because even in the best case scenario, if you just operate like a normal human being, there's always going to be some jerk who orders a bunch of drinks, and you're going to pay more than your fair share. I hate that.
Okay, we'll come to that. But Kiki says when you're ready to order, tell your server you want your food and drinks on a separate check.
I've tried that, and they say no if you're in a group over a certain size.
Some do that. That's
true.
a problem.
Yeah. So the best answer may not be an available answer. It may not be an available solution. Let's go on to scenario number 2. Everyone ordered alcohol except you, and now the table wants to split the tab fair and square across all the food and drink. I've been in this situation, and it's not cool. It's not cool because those drinks are like $15, $20 a pop sometimes.
Yeah, and but we should defer to Tuwala on this because I'm not the one who's going to abstain from ordering a drink.
Now, when I have gone to a few beat reunion get-togethers, like the old station I used to work at, we would all get together, and a lot of the old beat crew, they still drink. And even if I show up late and I don't really order a lot, because of this crew, I still, no matter what, put in more than anything. I don't care if I order just an appetizer, I'm putting in an entree's worth towards my tab because that's just how I do.
I do it as well, and I'll put over and above that because I assume there's going to be a tip in there.
Yes.
And whenever I go out with people, they act like there's not going to be a tip, so they're only paying for their food. It's like, come on, the bill is $245 and we have $250.
Yeah.
What the frick?
That's a problem. That's a problem.
And
That's so irritating.
It is so irritating, but you have to do it. Here's scenario number 3. You're a party of 6. Is it okay to ask the server to split the check 6 ways? I just did this when I was in Korea, and the technology is such where it's very easy now, depending on the place you go, where you can just give them the 6 cards or whatever, and most places they don't trip. It's almost like just filling in check boxes, and they just scan your cards and then just assign an amount to them.
Now, there's a restaurant, again, with my beat crew, there is a restaurant we went to, I believe it was in Highland Park, where when we sat down, the waitress came around and took each person's order separately, even though we were in the same group, because it's almost that forward thinking of, I already know you all are not trying to put this together. You all showed up at different times. Each one of us got our own tab. And that's
the best case scenario. Yeah, if the place can accommodate it. Now, according to Aranita, who has also been a bartender and server, recommends a maximum of 2 to 4 credit cards. Yeah, whatever. Good luck. You got a party of 6. 2 credit cards? Okay. Scenario number 4. It's your birthday, and your friends take you out. Who should pay for the meal?
The friends. You took me out.
That's right.
I would have been at the house.
I'm saying the friends.
Oh, the birthday person never pays.
All right.
No.
All right.
Hell no.
They say in American culture, that's the correct answer, but that's maybe not always the case. So you have to be aware of your friends group. Look, if you're going to take me out for my birthday, damn it, if I have to pull out my wallet, we're going to have a misunderstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have a problem.
Unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Last scenario. It's your friend's first time at your favorite restaurant, and you decide to order an appetizer that you think everyone at the table will love. Who pays for that?
If I order the appetizer, I think everyone's going to like it.
Yes.
I'm paying for it.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Just torch the place. These things are so irritating.
No,
just set
seriously.
the restaurant on fire.
No. That's the way it is. If I want to get, I don't know, crab cakes or whatever, and I don't know if anyone else wants it, I'm going to get a larger order, and I'm paying for that because I wanted it. But I'm saying, hey, Mo, you want some?
Right.
If
You
y'all
make
take
it
some,
available
yeah,
for everyone else.
Make it available, but nah.
Have you seen the SNL skit on this with Owen Wilson?
I don't think so.
It's very funny.
Here's a check whenever you're ready. No rush.
He was great, by the way. I think we tip him, right?
Okay, so, how should we do this?
I mean, I guess I could put it on my card?
No, you don't have to do that.
If it's easier, we can just split it 6 ways.
Well, I mean, some people had more than others.
Did they?
Let's just go through and see who ordered what.
Okay, that's fair.
Diet Coke.
That's me.
Coke Zero.
That's me.
Sprite Zero.
Me as well, just obeying my thirst.
Iced tea. Me. Arnold Palmer.
What?
Arnold Palmer with tequila.
Someone had to get the party started.
Whole roasted chicken, extra potatoes.
Seems familiar.
Flat iron pork chop, sub out broccoli for potatoes.
Okay, no, wait. That I ordered for the table, although I probably did eat the lion's share of it.
98-ounce porterhouse steak.
Okay, don't look at me, because I did not get that. I'm serious. I didn't get that. There's no way. Come on.
There's a photo of you on the wall eating it.
Maybe.
4 bacon cheeseburgers to go.
Okay, I'm off the hot seat, Bob. That's you.
I'm a vegetarian.
Little too much information.
The Carson Daily, chicken broth and vodka.
Yeah, I was trying to switch it up. A man cannot live on tequila alone.
5 shots of tequila, but leave them in the bathroom so my friends don't find out?
You know, I'm actually more concerned you called us friends.
A dozen raw eggs still in the container.
That, I'll admit, was a little grocery shopping. And I don't expect you guys to pay for that.
A bottle of your nicest white wine with a note that says, "Please take me back, Jennifer. I am so, so, so sorry. I know we can make this work if you just tell the judge you were lying."
They wrote that on the bill? Why? Just to embarrass me?
No, they charged you because you asked for it to be done by a calligrapher.
It's beautiful.
Bowl of turkey chili with a rum floater.
Did I do that? Urkel.
Another small side of potatoes.
That actually was me. Those potatoes did look good.
And a Cadillac margarita.
Hey, it's 5 a.m. somewhere, right?
This is the best of Later with Mo Kelly. Happy Thanksgiving.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
When I got up this morning, I went in the garage, and I had to pull out my car because I had to pull out my trash cans from the backyard. Long story short, I pulled straight out of my garage. Why? Because I backed in previously. Every time I pull in my garage, I back in. Boop, boop, boop. I back into my garage. When I park at work, boop, 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 I back into my parking space. And a lot of people wonder, well, is there a law in California? Are you allowed to do that? Here's the short answer. Yes. There's no law preventing it, but private garages and parking lots, they can prohibit it. You may go to a parking lot and it says head in only, as in park head forward facing. But if it doesn't have that sign, I'm always backing in. Some people think that's very pretentious. Mark is probably one of those people.
No, it's just irritating.
Okay, one of the same.
I agree with Mark.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Okay.
Wait, are you siding with him, Tuwala?
How does my
back in?
Right. How does my backing into a parking space impact you negatively?
It's irritating for the person who's got to be riding with you. Does your wife like this?
No, I'm actually gentlemanly enough to say, hey, babe, you can go ahead and get out here.
Because you know it's irritating.
No.
Case closed.
No, it's not irritating. Parking head-in doesn't have anything to do with her getting in or out of the car.
It's irritating for the people in the other cars waiting for you. It's just irritating.
How is it irritating for other cars? You back in.
You're just making up stuff, Mark.
No, because it takes longer. It takes forever while everybody else just wants you to park your damn car.
So you can't drive.
Right.
That's what we're talking about because I back right in.
It's just one move. And all the people who are parking straight in, they usually have to do like a 3-point turn if they don't cut it sharp enough to get in on the first try.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that it would be irritating if you weren't such an expert at it.
No, it's bad. Even if you're a regular parker and you want to go in and you're all crooked, most of the crooked parkers are people who go head in and can't make that turn. And they just park all angled.
That's also irritating.
That's right.
That's actually more irritating because you're typically taking up more than one space when you do that.
However, like to Mark's point, it's at your own place, you can do whatever you want. You're not, getting in anyone's way. But when you're in a parking lot, you're basically saying, I'm the only person here. Stand back. I'm going to back in. And it backs up the line so much
Not
longer.
necessarily. No, I have a counter to that. Have you ever gone into a parking lot? I'm sure you have. Let's say it's Target or something like that. And you're waiting for this idiot to slowly back out of the parking space so you can pull in. And the reason why they're going so slowly is because they're looking over their right shoulder, looking over their left shoulder, making sure no one's walking behind them, making sure they have enough space to slowly pull out. And they'll do like a reverse 3-point turn, pulling out of that space as opposed to driving straight out.
The existence of other irritating things doesn't negate your irritating thing.
It's actually more irritating because it's like, can't you? And if you say that you're not sitting in your car screaming to yourself, oh my God, can't you drive? There's no one behind you. Just back out.
It's happened too, but then I have that same kind of reaction when someone decides to back in and there's 3 cars deep.
Well, look, all I can say is I know how to drive, and if other people can't drive, that's not negative towards me. That's negative towards them. That's their problem. And part of the reason I started doing this, true story, True story. I saw my sheriff friend. He was working for Century Station back in the day. And I was asking him because not only did he park his personal car, but he would use his deputy cruiser, sheriff cruiser. He would always back into whatever. And I said, why is that? You always do this. Like, well, we always got to go at a moment's notice. We always have to be ready. And that's part of the reason why we leave the engine running, because we always got to go or be ready to go.
So you, on the other hand, might need to zoom to an In-N-Out or something immediately.
Maybe.
Maybe. Mark, when we've gone downstairs, we got in my car to go to the movies, it's always backed in. Why? Because it's downstairs, it's dark. If I don't know what's down there, if I need to get in and take off and just run down whoever's going to be in my way for any jacking purposes, I don't care if it's a parking lot, I don't care if it's a movie theater or a gym, I don't care where you are, you need to be ready to go.
If it's good enough for law enforcement, it's good enough for me. If it's good practice for them, it's good practice for me. It's all about safety.
Across the board?
Safety.
Yeah.
Because that's the other side of it. Like, to Walla's point, getting mad about someone taking forever to back out. Sometimes you're behind the person that's going to back into the spot, but they have to turn and then back in. It looks like they're going to go into the other spot. So I'm ready to go around them. And no.
No. You're supposed to handle it just like you would parallel parking, where you put on your signal. There's what you're supposed to do. Have you ever pulled up to a parking space on the right, like you're on the street? And you pass it because you're going to back in parallel park. You're supposed to put on your signal. It's the same thing when you're going down the lane in a parking lot. You put on your signal so they know that you're going into that parking space if someone is behind you.
So you think you're like the navigator in Star Trek, whatever the new one is, who can just zip in and out of asteroids.
That's way too obscure, Mark. They don't know what you mean.
Everybody else who's waiting for you is like, Jesus, just park the car.
Exactly.
No, because the people who are waiting, if they're waiting, 9 out of 10 of them probably are backing into their space as well.
See, I'm a good middle person because I think both sides have a great argument.
Oh, come on. Pick a side.
Well, like, I see your side where it's like, for me, it's situational. If I'm closer to a door in an area where it's dark, and the door's on my left side, I will park in reverse to make sure that my door is closer to my entrance or exit. So I could just get into my car and go. Or if the opportunity arises and I can pull in backwards, I'll do that. But then I also see where I'm impatient. Like, pull out or pull into your spot. Backwards or forwards, like, just park.
Okay.
Please.
But when I'm parking, it's about me.
I didn't notice if you had diplomatic plates on your car, because you sound like perhaps you consider yourself an ambassador. You can't be delayed.
I do.
You must, when you're ready to go, you've got to get out there and get to the next venue.
Correct.
Immediately.
I'll stop you when you're wrong. Keep going.
No. This is all for clarification.
But he just made our point. It's all about me.
But whoever is pulling in head first, they're not actually taking me into consideration when I have to wait for them to slowly back their ass out. Haven't you been sitting there? It's like, there's no one behind you. There's no one behind you. Please pull out. Please pull. That's the thing, as opposed to the person just drives straight through. Like, and they're gone.
I guess it just negates each other because it's both the same irritation.
Well, if you're worried about irritation on the front end or the back end, that has to do with the person that's behind you. I'm talking about me as the person who's parking. I have my own priorities that I'm dealing with, one of which is, in an emergency, I want to be able to pull straight out. Also, I don't want to necessarily have to look over my shoulder and chance not hitting a pedestrian or a car which is driving quickly behind me. Have you ever been in a parking lot and someone's just zooming down the aisle and you're pulling out backwards and you almost hit them because that person's driving so fast and you don't see them? I know I can't be the only one that's happened to.
No, that's also not cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
What kind of emergency are you predicting that is going to happen to you
That's what I've been thinking
in a
this whole
grocery
time.
store parking lot?
I'm being 100% serious now. I know we got to go break, but I'm being very serious. We live in a world where you can have a mass shooting at any moment. We live in a world where you may have to get out of there or get somewhere else in a moment's notice. And if it comes down to me having to leave quickly, damn it, I want to be able to pull straight out.
I think I just figured out what it really is.
What is that?
You're incontinent. Time to go to the news. Look at the time.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
We're serving up some of the best of Later with Mo Kelly on Thanksgiving.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Every day in Florida.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And when I was doing the Mo Kelly show, News from Florida was a very popular segment. When we started Later with Mo Kelly, we said, no, we're not going to do any of the old segments. And so we put News from Florida to the side. Well, we decided to bring it back, at least for tonight, because there's some stories which demand the News from Florida treatment. A Florida stripper has sued Florida's Attorney General and 2 local prosecutors to stop enforcement of a new state law prohibiting adult entertainment businesses from employing people who are under the age of 21. The claim is it violates their constitutional rights. Serenity Michelle Bushy.
Come on.
I swear to you.
I don't think so.
No, that's not her dancer name. That's her real name. Serenity Michelle Bushy. We're not going to make Yes.
No.
Claims in the lawsuit that she lost her job at Cafe Risque
from being too hairy.
Yeah, hirsutism. In the Gainesville area, after the law took effect on Monday. She is 19 years old. The law, obviously, you must be 21 to work in a gentleman's club or an adult entertainment establishment. According to the state, the purpose of the law was to deter human trafficking. That's what this Florida says. The lawsuit filed yesterday in a federal court in Tallahassee on behalf of Ms. Bushy, the owner of Cafe Risque and 2 adult businesses in Jacksonville. It seeks a permanent injunction stopping the law from being enforced, claiming it violates their First Amendment right to free speech and shake their ass. No, it doesn't say that. It says right to free speech and 14th Amendment right to equal protection. Besides Bushy, Ms. Bushy, 8 other adult performers who are older than 18 but younger than 21 are unable to work at Cafe Risque because of the new law. Let me just say this. It does seem rather odd that they would have that many employees impacted by this law.
No, because Florida is home to many trade school and junior college that these girls are trying to work their way through, get their education. Yes. Well, how are you going to stop them from getting an education?
Well, I mean, they could have gotten a job doing something else. I don't know, like news that, talking about, I don't know, like a car crashing into a 7-Eleven.
A DUI.
That's sexy. That's adult entertainment work.
I think working the poll pays a lot better than doing the news.
How do you know, Mark?
How much do you want to know?
Oh, that's way too much.
I think Miss Bushy's going to have a close shave with the law. Come on,
Go
Bush.
ahead.
Bush.
Go ahead. He thought all segment for that one.
Yeah, I was saving that up.
That's what he said.
Gross.
I'm waiting. Estoy esperando.
Too gross. Too gross.
Okay. Quote, as with similar performers around the state, Bushy earned her living through her art while providing entertainment for the benefit and enjoyment of her audience. This is the lawsuit. Plaintiffs have a clear legal right to engage in protected speech of this nature. Close quote. But the new law also prohibits hiring cooks, DJs, waitresses, and security guards who are older than 18 but younger than 21. And even use workers in that age group from third-party contractors hired to perform tasks such as air conditioning repairs or carpentry. That's random. Well, I mean, I understand the issue because why is it you're going to penalize me? I am of age. I am not consuming alcohol. Why the random nature of the age of 21? That's supposed to deter human trafficking. I don't see how those.
This sounds like this law was written by an individual who was denied access to the champagne room and said, "Well, I'll stop you."
No. Probably got access to the champagne room and left with an unhappy ending.
That could do it too. That could get a law written. There's a lot of perverted senators in Florida.
And
congresspeople, period. Local judges, cops, they're all in Florida, and they're probably all behind this law.
Remember when Matt Gaetz got busted for?
Of DUI.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. And there were a lot of investigations swirling around him. Did I say swirling? Around him.
Circling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Buzzing?
Right.
Of DUI.
He only had one. But actually, I went to my first strip club when I was 18. It was around my 18th birthday, and there were a lot of 18-year-olds. And here's how it was back in the day. I don't know if it's still true now because I don't go to strip clubs anymore. I miss them. But when I did go to strip clubs, if you went to a fully nude strip club, they didn't have alcohol.
They also didn't have food.
Still like that.
Yeah.
No
it is
alcohol.
still like that?
Yep.
How do you know?
Because I've done research like Mark.
It is his birthday.
That's right.
Yes.
I think I got some dollar bills somewhere for you.
Get it, Foosh.
Just don't try to stick it in Mark's G-string, okay?
We'll try.
Not enough room.
No, but there were two clubs, and I've told this before, so I'll remind people. There was the First Kings and the Barbary Coast, if you know them in the L.A. area. I think they're both closed now. Shut down, I think, the pandemic. Sad story. But if you went to the First Kings, they weren't fully nude, so they had alcohol. And I didn't understand why alcohol made the difference. Like, if you only see this anatomy, you can have alcohol, but if you see the full anatomy, you can't have any alcohol. What? I don't get it.
Look, First King was also a place where you were likely to see bullet wounds.
Oh yeah.
And
it was in the hood.
You were gonna see some women who should have named Bushy because it was a problem at that club.
But also, it was well known that if you went into, they didn't have a champagne room. It was too ghetto to have a champagne room. It just had a room. We went to the back. But if you went to the back and you had some money, then you might be treated a certain way.
Oh, that was a fact.
Yes.
A certain way. What do you mean exactly?
You might be looked favorably upon.
At First King.
No.
Named after the book of the Bible, First King.
You would find out.
Yeah.
You would find out why her last name was Bushy.
You see, Well, wait. You're slow on the draw in your old age, Stephen. I tell you, you turn 36 and just everything just starts falling apart.
Oh my goodness.
Even the laugh was delayed.
Kind of a flaccid laugh there.
Sweet Lord.
This is the best of Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.